Like his father and grandfather, several of Johnson's other non-blood relatives are or were professional wrestlers, including his uncles, Aoife and Sika and Noah, the World Samoans, and his cousins, Rodney, Salofa, Matt and Eddie. When Johnson declared his intent to become a wrestler, his father initially resisted, but then agreed to train him himself, warning that he would not go easy on him. Veteran wrestler Pat Patterson got Johnson several tryout matches with the World Wrestling Federation. In 1996, under his real name, he defeated the Brooklyn Brawler at a house show and lost the other matches to Chris Candido and Owen Hart. After wrestling at Jerry Lawler's United States Wrestling Association as Flex Cabana and winning the USWA World Tag Championship twice with Bart Sawyer in the summer of 1996, Johnson signed a WWF contract. He received additional training from Tom Pritchard alongside Achim Albrecht and Mark Henry. Johnson made his WWF debut as Rocky Maivia, a combination of his father and grandfather's ring names, though his real name was acknowledged by the announcers. He was initially reluctant to take this ring name, but was persuaded by Vince McMahon and Jim Ross. He was given the nickname the Blue Chipper, and his lineage was played on TV, where he was hyped as the WWF's first third-generation wrestler. Maivia, a clean-cut face character, was pushed heavily from the start despite his wrestling inexperience. He debuted on Monday Night Raw as a member of Mark Mero's entourage on November 4th, 1996, and had his first match at Survivor Series on November 17th in an 8-man elimination tag match. He was the sole survivor by single-handedly eliminating Crush and Goldust. WWF fans generally rejected him because of his cheesy character. On February 13th, 1997, he won the Intercontinental Championship from Hunter Hearst Helmsley on Monday Night Raw. Maivia successfully defended the title at In Your House 13 Final Four against Hunter Hearst Helmsley and at WrestleMania 13 against the Sultan. He defeated Bret Hart by disqualification in a title defense on March 31st episode of Raw is War. On April 20th, at In Your House 14 Revenge of the Taker, he lost to Savio Vega by countout, retaining the title for the first time. Audiences became increasingly hostile towards Maivia, with chants of Die Rocky Die and Rocky Sucks being heard during his matches. After losing the Intercontinental Championship to Owen Hart on April 28, 1997, Raw is War, and suffering a knee injury in a match against Mankind, Maivia returned in August 1997 and turned heel by joining Farouk, D'Lo Brown and Kama in the stable called the Nation of Domination. During this time, he refused to acknowledge the Rocky Maivia name, instead referring to himself in the third person as The Rock. He insulted the audience in his promos as well as WWF television interviewers, once calling Kevin Kelly an ugly hermaphrodite. At D-Generation X In Your House, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated The Rock in under 6 minutes to retain the Intercontinental Championship. The next night, on Raw is War, Austin was ordered by Mr. McMahon to defend the title in a rematch, but forfeited it to The Rock instead, handing him the belt before hitting him with the Stone Cold Stunner. The Rock feuded with Austin and Ken Shamrock through the end of 1997 and beginning of 1998. On March 30th episode of Raw is War, The Rock debuted a new Intercontinental Championship belt, which was used to represent the title until October 1st, 2011, when the previous design was reused. Later that night, he overthrew Farouk as leader of the Nation of Domination, sparking a feud. He successfully defended the Intercontinental title against Farouk at Over the Edge In Your House on May 31st, 1998. He and the Nation then feuded with Triple H and D-Generation X, DX. The two stable leaders first met in the quarterfinal of the 1998 King of the Ring tournament, which Rock won. At King of the Ring PPV, Rock defeated Dan Severn in the semi-final match and lost to rival Ken Shamrock in the final. Rock then resumed his feud with Triple H as the two had a 2 out of 3 falls match at Fully Loaded In Your House for the Intercontinental title, which The Rock retained in controversial fashion. This led to a ladder match at SummerSlam in which Triple H won the title. At Breakdown In Your House, The Rock defeated Ken Shamrock and Mankind in a triple threat steel cage match to become the #1 contender for the WWF Championship. He then feuded with fellow Nation member Mark Henry, effectively breaking up the stable. The Rock's entertaining promos and ensuing popularity led to a face turn, in which he called themselves the People's Champion. This led to a feud with Mr. McMahon, who said he had a problem with the people, and would thus target the People's Champion. A double turn occurred at Survivor Series when The Rock defeated Mr. McMahon's associate Mankind in the finals of the Deadly Game tournament for the vacant WWF Championship in a fashion reminiscent of the Montreal Screwjob. The Rock allied with Vince and Steve McMahon as the crown jewel of their stable, the Corporation. On December 13th, 1998, at the pay-per-view named for him, Rock Bottom in Your House, The Rock had a rematch with Mankind for the WWF Championship. Mankind appeared to win the match when The Rock passed out in the mandible claw submission move, but Mr. McMahon ruled that since The Rock did not tap out, he retained his title. The Rock continued to feud with Mankind over the WWF Championship, which was traded back and forth between them. First, in the main event of January 4th, 1999 Royal War, Mankind defeated The Rock after interference from Steve Austin. Then, in an I Quit match at Royal Rumble on January 24th, The Rock regained the title when a recording of Mankind saying "I quit" from an earlier interview was played over the PA system. On Halftime Heat, an episode of Sunday Night Heat aired in the same time slot as the Super Bowl 33rd halftime show on January 31st, Mankind pinned The Rock using a forklift truck in an empty arena match. The two faced off again at St. Valentine's Day Massacre in Your House in a last man standing match. The bout ended in a draw, meaning Mankind retained the title. Their feud ended on February 15th for Roy's War, when The Rock won his third WWF Championship in a ladder match against Big Show after Big Show chokeslammed Mankind off the ladder. The Rock lost the WWF Championship to Steve Austin at WrestleMania 15. He also lost the title rematch at Backlash in Your House. Though he was a heel, his amusing verbal skills led many fans to cheer The Rock. He turned face again after Shane McMahon betrayed him and began a feud with Triple H, The Undertaker, and the corporate ministry. He defeated Triple H at Over the Edge, then lost to the WWF Champion, The Undertaker, at King of the Ring. He lost the number one contenders match to Triple H at Fully Loaded after interference from Mr. Ass. This sparked a feud with Mr. Ass, culminating in a Kiss My Ass match at SummerSlam, which The Rock won. Towards the latter part of 1999, The Rock had several singles and tag team championship opportunities. He teamed with former enemy Mankind as the Rock and Sock Connection. After he challenged WWF Tag Team Champions The Undertaker and Big Show, and Mankind offered his help. They won the title for the first of 3 times. The two performed numerous comedic skits together, including one on Roy's War called This Is Your Life, based on the TV show, in which Mankind produced people from The Rock's past, such as his high school girlfriend and his high school football coach. The segment earned an 8.4 Nielsen rating, one of the highest ratings ever for a Raw segment. At Royal Rumble on January 23, 2000, The Rock entered the Royal Rumble match and was one of the final 2 remaining, along with Big Show. Show seemingly intended to throw The Rock over the top rope in a running power slam-like position, but The Rock countered the move on the ring apron, sending Big Show to the floor before re-entering the ring as the winner. However, The Rock's feet hit the floor first, although those watching the event on TV did not see that, until Big Show proved this with additional video footage and claimed to be the rightful winner. Despite this proof, the original decision could not be reversed, so a number 1 contenders match for the WWF Championship was held at No Way Out, which Big Show won after Shane McMahon interfered and hit The Rock in the head with a steel chair as he attempted to execute a people's elbow. The Rock defeated Big Show on March 13th episode of Raw's War to regain the right to face WWF Champion Triple H at WrestleMania 2000 in a fatal 4-way elimination match, also including Big Show and Mick Foley. Each wrestler had a McMahon in his corner. Triple H had his wife Stephanie, Foley had Linda, The Rock had Vince, and Big Show had Shane. Triple H retained the title after Vince betrayed The Rock by hitting him with a chair. Over the next few months, The Rock feuded with Triple H over the WWF Championship. On April 30th, at Backlash, The Rock defeated Triple H for his 4th WWF Championship reign after Steve Austin intervened on The Rock's behalf. On 21st of May, at Judgment Day, the two had an Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. With the score tied at 5 falls each, and with seconds left on the time limit, The Rock was disqualified when The Undertaker attacked Triple H, giving Triple H the 6-5 win and the title. The next night, on Raw's War, The Rock got his revenge, taking out the entire McMahon-Helmsley faction with The Undertaker's help. He won the WWF Championship for a 5th time at King of the Ring on June 25th by scoring the winning pin in a tag team match, teamed with Kane and The Undertaker against Vince McMahon, Steve McMahon, and Triple H. He successfully defended the championship against Chris Benoit at Fully Loaded, Kurt Angle and Triple H at SummerSlam, and Benoit, Kane and The Undertaker at Unforgiven. The Rock lost the WWF Championship to Angle at No Mercy in October. Around this time, he feuded with Rikishi and defeated him at Survivor Series. He wrestled a 6-man Hell in a Cell match for the WWF Championship at Armageddon, which Kurt Angle won to retain the title. On December 18th on Raw, The Rock won the WWF Championship Tag Team Championship with The Undertaker, defeating Edge and Christian, then losing it back to them the next night at a SmackDown taping. In 2001, The Rock continued to feud with Angle over the WWF Championship, culminating at No Way Out in February, where he pinned Angle to win the WWF Championship for the 6th time. He then feuded with the Royal Rumble winner Steve Austin. The Rock lost the title to Austin at WrestleMania X7 after Austin allied with Mr. McMahon, who intervened on his behalf. On the next night's Raw is War, during a steel cage title rematch, Triple H came to the ring with a sledgehammer, and it seemed he would help The Rock because of the rivalry between Austin and Triple H, and an argument with McMahon earlier in the night, but he attacked him instead, allying with McMahon and Austin. Austin and Triple H formed a tag team called the Power Trip, while The Rock was indefinitely suspended. Johnson used this time off to act in the movie The Mummy Returns. The Rock returned to the WWF in July 2001 and had to decide whether to join the WWF or the Alliance, a group of former WCW and ECW wrestlers, during the invasion, eventually siding with the WWF. At SummerSlam, The Rock defeated Booker T to win the WCW Championship. He lost the title to Chris Jericho at No Mercy. The next night on Raw, he teamed with Jericho to win the WWF Tag Team Championship from the Dudley Boys. The Rock defeated Jericho on November 5th episode of Raw for his second WCW Championship, which was renamed to World Championship. As part of the WWF's battle against the Alliance, The Rock wrestled in a winner-takes-all 10-man elimination match at Survivor Series. In the end, it came down to a one-on-one with Steve Austin, who had recently joined the Alliance. The Rock seemed to have the upper hand until Jericho, a member of Team WWF who was eliminated a few minutes earlier, entered the ring and attacked The Rock. Austin tried to capitalise on this by pinning The Rock, but Kurt Angle, a Team Alliance member, revealed his true alliance by hitting Austin in the head with the title belt. The Rock then pinned Austin, forcing the Alliance to disband. The Rock closed out 2001 by losing the WCW World Championship at Vengeance to Chris Jericho, who had unified the WWF and WCW titles late that night. The Rock unsuccessfully challenged Jericho for both titles, and now the undisputed WWF Championship at Royal Rumble, ending their feud. The Rock defeated The Undertaker at No Way Out. 3 weeks before WrestleMania, The Rock headlined WWE's Asian tour to Japan, Singapore and Malaysia. The first show was in Yokohama Arena and had sold 18,000 tickets in 60 minutes. Jericho, who was booked to face him for all 3 shows, said he brought out the best in him and described his reaction as one of the loudest I've ever heard in my career. It was as if Elvis had joined the Beatles and all of them were wearing Godzilla costumes. He then feuded with the New World Order after challenging Hollywood Hulk Hogan to a match at WrestleMania X8. The match was billed as icon versus icon, with both men representing the top tier of 2 generations of wrestling. Ultimately, Rock pinned Hogan at WrestleMania X8. After the NWO turned on Hogan for losing match, The Rock allied with him and was drafted to the SmackDown brand, becoming the first WWF superstar to be drafted in the WWF Draft Lottery. He then took a short sabbatical from wrestling. When he returned, The Rock won his then record-breaking 7th WWE Championship, which had been renamed the WWE Undisputed Championship after the WWF was renamed to WWE in May 2002. At Vengeance, defeating Kurt Angle and The Undertaker in a triple threat match. He successfully defended the title at Global Warning in Australia against Triple H and Brock Lesnar by pinning Triple H. After the match, Lesnar attacked The Rock until Triple H saved him. At SummerSlam, after interference from Lesnar's manager, Paul Heyman, and the use of a steel chair, Rock lost the WWE Championship to Lesnar along with the record for the youngest WWE champion, which The Rock had set in 1998. Following the loss against Lesnar, Rock publicly declared that whether or not the crowd booed him, he would always be the People's Champion, criticising the fans in the arena and again taking his sabbatical from wrestling in order to focus on his film career. The Rock returned on January 30th, 2003 episode of SmackDown to publicly criticise Hulk Hogan and make it clear that because of the success of his Hollywood career, WWE was no longer his priority. This re-established him as a heel for the first time since 1999. Rock defeated Hogan again at No Way Out and drafted himself to the Raw brand, where he had various feuds, including one with Hurricane. He also performed rock concerts segments in which he played the guitar and mocked the show's host city. After failing to win #1 contendership for the World Heavyweight Championship, The Rock turned his attention to Steve Austin, who, to The Rock's chagrin, had been chosen as Superstar of the Decade. This led to a match at WrestleMania 19, which called back to the previous 2 WrestleMania encounters, both of which Austin had won. The Rock won after delivering 3 consecutive rock bottoms, ending their long-running feud in what turned out to be Austin's final match. The next night, Raw was billed as the Rock Appreciation Night, in honour of his victory over Austin. That night, he was attacked by debuting Goldberg. At Backlash, Goldberg defeated The Rock, who then left WWE as an active wrestler to focus on his film career. The Rock then occasionally returned to WWE non-wrestling roles, gradually turning face again by engaging in one-night feuds against heels such as Chris Jericho and Christian. The Rock aided Mick Foley in his feud against Evolution, leading to a reunion of the Rock and Sock connection. They faced Ric Flair, Randy Orton and Batista in a handicap match at WrestleMania 20, losing when Orton pinned Foley after the RKO. It turned out to be The Rock's last match for the next 7 years. The Rock appeared in WWE sporadically following WrestleMania 20. He stood up for Eugene, made a cameo in his hometown of Miami, and helped Mick Foley turn back the Resistance. Later in 2004, he hosted a pie eating contest as part of the WWE Diva Search and ended the segment by giving Jonathan Coachman a spinebuster and a people's elbow. After this, he stated in several interviews he was no longer under contract with the WWE. He stated he would continue under the trademark name The Rock per a dual ownership deal between him and WWE. On August 23, 2004 episode of Raw, The Rock returned and took out Jonathan Coachman and The Resistance. In October 2005, The Rock did a tell-all interview with WWE.com. He talked about his contract with WWE, movies, and feelings on a dream match with Shawn Michaels. On March 12, 2007, The Rock appeared on a WWE show after nearly 3 years via a pre-taped promo show during Raw. He quickly predicted that Bobby Lashley would defeat Umaga at WrestleMania 23 in Donald Trump and Vince McMahon's Battle of the Billionaires match. On March 29, 2008, The Rock inducted his father, Rocky Johnson, and his grandfather, Peter Maivia, into the WWE Hall of Fame. During his induction speech, he roasted wrestlers John Cena, Santino Marella, Chris Jericho, Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. In September 2009, he appeared at a World Extreme Wrestling show to support the pro wrestling debut of Serena Snuka, the daughter of his longtime friend and mentor Jimmy Snuka. On October 2, 2009, the 10-year anniversary of SmackDown, The Rock, with his usual flat top hair shaved off, cut a promo via a pre-recorded video.